For almost the last 1.5 years to 2 years, Mowbray Cemetery has been going through a tremendous amount of upgrades. A major move to the preservation of its heritage and the heritage of the people of the Cape and of South Africa. This would be encompassed in the new process of a survey that's going on.
Mowbray Cemetery is innovating at the moment. We're making use of the latest available surveying technology through Parker surveys. They are doing a survey of the entire cemetery where we'll be able to get a digital terrain model, we'll be able to get the location of graves, the pathways, the heritage sites, etc. Things that we never had in the past. We want to go online, we want people to be able to see the cemetery visually in a three-dimensional perspective, real time. So that's our intentions that we're wanting to do through the survey.
Our understanding is that there are 4 phases of what we want to achieve and do. One is to ensure that we have an exact measurement of the outside boundaries and fences of the cemetery. The second one is to map exactly the pathways inside the cemetery, any of the buildings in the cemetery, the services that are rendered, and all the trees and vegetation that you see. So that's all part of one of the phases, which we've actually completed the measurement, the field measurements of the boundary, the roads, the pathways. What we're busy with right now is the capturing of all the information of the graves. So, the bottom line really is that we believe, that our thoughts run sort of parallel to what the cemetery board is saying. If somebody walks in to the cemetery or calls or says, my parent is buried here, my child is buried here, I want to know where it is. Last time somebody was here was this much. You should be able to capture, punch in a name and get the sort of point on your phone to say you can walk to that place.
Well, we'll be able to view this in a GIS, and that's a geographical information system format. So like people use their Google Maps today, maybe in the future we'll be able to plot a path to a grave that people will be able to come and see exactly where their family or their friends or their next of kin has been buried. We get lots of those queries all the time, and we know the cemetery is quite large and quite big, and we need to be able to come down right to a plot level. So we might not be able to get there immediately, but that would be the intention going forward. Giving people geospatial information that they'll be able to find their loved ones where they are buried within the cemetery.
Generally, what we're capturing is the photograph of each of the tombstones and the graves. We're georeferencing it, which means you can actually navigate to there. And the beauty of it is, it's not for now only. That georeferenced location will stay forever. You type it in, you get a printout of 2 printouts. One is a paper showing the plan of where the location is, and the second one is a picture of the actual grave. Now, because of advancements in technology, it can be exactly the same here. If there's electricity available at the entrance of the cemetery, somebody could come in and ask for a name. Our model at the moment is that if there's 20 people with that name, it would all appear in the list. You pick, this is either date of birth, date of death, or whatever. And when you pick that particular one, it should be able to show you a map of the cemetery and directions on how to get there.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, it is good to hear that the Muslim community is applying modern technology. It is by time that we are able to go to a maqbara and you're able to speak to the people there, and they can show you exactly where a deceased has been buried. And even if that's been a long time ago, we are able to get to people that has been buried 50, 60, 100 years ago, and alhamdulillah with this geotagging, we are able to get to it. So may Allah Ta'ala grant all khair and barakah in this and make it easy on you, so that it will only benefit our people. For the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam encouraged that we go visit the maqbara, that we go and visit the dead, because it will remind you of the akhirah, and in this way it will make easier for our people, inshallah ta'ala.
The innovation is obviously where we're wanting to go. And we need to embrace the technology that is available with us. We need to move with the times. We have this, we've got records going back, way back to the 1800s or the 1900s from the first records, and people need to know that. So they come to us regularly, they ask us for this information, and this is one of the tools that we can employ. So the board is employing a lot more of the new, recent, available technology, and we're being dynamic. I think that's one of the fundamentals of this board, is having to embrace the changes that we are able to take hold of and employ that. So our database that we're busy developing, these are the things that we are going to be using in the future.
For most working on the project, it's a very rewarding project, because the one thing that we see from the cemetery board's perspective is that there's a continual search by community members to continue finding old graves. We believe that the preservation of such heritage and history and the entire heritage of our community could lay partly here at Mowbray Cemetery from the just after mid-1800s upwards till now. The loss of information is a real threat to cemeteries, as in the past it was reported to us that there was a fire at this location. Data was lost. Well, I think going forward with this new process, there's just 100 steps forward to the preservation of that history, of that culture, and of that heritage and historical documentation.
For Parker Surveys, the cemetery itself is special to us. It signifies, and it's part of the heritage, we believe, of the greater community, but also our family, lots of our friends. We know that this cemetery is special in our hearts. We are actually very happy that the cemetery board has embarked on a campaign or a project that allows us to give some input.
We must say thank you to Parker Surveys for taking up the cudgels and for taking up the challenge that they had. I mean, it's not any survey company that would be able to do this and that's willing to do this, and we know they're committing a lot of their time and their resources. And I think it's a very good working relationship that we've got with them.
It's about the community, and we are hoping that we can play a small part in preservation of our heritage, in enabling people to come and visit their families, visit their graves, and I'm sure it will give happiness to people to know when we come there, we will be directed to where our loved ones are lying.
There are so many, I am sure I am one of those, there's so many people who don't know where some of their family are buried. And in the past, I'm talking about way back in the past, we used to come here and look, and then out of memory people would have to say, no, it's somewhere there, it's somewhere there. Then you have to look, you spend hours finding. Sometimes you find it, sometimes you don't find it, you have to come back. But with the geotagging, I think it's a brilliant idea, it's a brilliant gesture, and I think it will work.
I'm visiting South Africa. I've been out of South Africa. I'm residing in the UK, and I just want to give you a quick shout out and say shukran to all of you for securing all our beloved ones and all the upgrades, and inshallah we can only move from here and get better.
It's so nice. The people here also is very, very nice. Very nice. I would recommend everybody to feel free to come here.
So I think that's a very, very good thing, and alhamdulillah, keep up the good work. It's really beautiful.
It's much better. I can see it's much improvements here, and I can see here the Salah Khan is also here, and when they whistle the people there as well, and the changes there also when the people can make dhikr there also. Alhamdulillah, I'm very impressed with it.
So it looks very nice. It was warm also now, the Salah Khan here also, even the extension that they're doing over there. So if people want to come to perform dhikr, there's a place where they can meet with the family to eat also. Even this, the way the parking is now and everything. And also what I like is what the guys have now with the flags and numbers when you're coming in and you know where and which block and things like that. So the upgrades are well, and I'm sure it's not the end of it. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more upgrades to come. And inshallah, so far so good, alhamdulillah.
Apart from the many upgrades that's been going on at Mowbray Cemetery, from the building of the ghusl facilities, the salah facilities, the alterations of the admin buildings, installation of equipment all over the cemetery, cameras, new security, building of walls, and just a ton and load of new facilities, including a community facility going up right now where the community can come and have their dhikr and so on, their 40 days and 100 days, whatever it might be. The geotagging of graves appear to be central into taking the cemetery one more step into the digital era and one more step to embracing technology in the preservation of our history, culture and heritage.